Hi everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Lucy Davis, and as always, I am your host for today's video. Now, before we start talking about this video that I have been encouraged very much so to put out, just wanted to say a huge thank you to everybody who has sent feedback on the last few videos that I've put out. My inbox has been inundated with thank yous and oh my gosh, this makes a lot of sense, and lots of feedback. And that is on the video, the new moon video, the March energy video, and also the video I've done with Catherine. So if you have not checked those out, once you've finished with this video, hop back over there, take a little look at them. It may well bring some clarity, and it will certainly put some perspective on what I'm going to share in this video today. Now, again, just before I talk about that, please do keep your eyes peeled. On the 30th of November, I am going to be doing the next, so this will be the second half-day healing session of 2022. The first one was, very much individual healing. This time round, I'm going to be looking at female hormone health. So if you are somebody that has got some, you feel like you've got an imbalance, or you've had known issues with your womb or your balance of hormones or something like that, and you really would like to look at the energetics behind it, or perhaps the spiritual reason to it, please do keep an eye out for that. That will be going on my website imminently. The way that you can find my website is just check the description right below this video, and all of my details will be there for you. Okay, so let's talk about getting yourself prepared. This video is called "It is time to prepare." Now, over the last couple of weeks, as I've been channeling the different energies for this month of March and also the month of April, I've been being told very, very clearly that it is time for us now to really be recognizing how we can cope through the times that we have already lived through. Obviously, we can't go back and recope. We've managed to do okay there, but it's kind of like our coping mechanisms going forwards. Now, I'm not going to say that there is one big event that's going to come and it's going to turn our lives upside down and we're going to need to use this tool. This is something that we need to be using going forwards from right now. Okay, which is why I'm filming it now, is because it's the time that I've been shown that I have to do it, although I have been being nudged quite a bit over the last couple of days. So what do I mean by this? What is your go-to? How do you cope when things go wrong? And I'm going to do that because it's our perception that things are going wrong. How do you cope when, there may be a fire over here in your life? Like, how do you actually step into the space and cope? Now, I'm going to give you a few examples. So myself, the way that I do, first and foremost, I get off of line. I used to be one of the people that would distract myself by going and chatting to my friends, not necessarily about the fire that was going on, but I would go and distract myself, or go and distract myself with videos. Now I very much go inwards and I sit with it, and I'm like, okay, what do I need to be recognizing? What do I need to be remembering? What do I need to be learning from this scenario that I'm stepping through? And then it's my go-to. Okay, so I'm just sharing what I do. Doesn't mean that you have to do the same. You've probably got your own process or whatever. You sage your place and you do this, and you put certain things on, and that's absolutely fine. It's just a case of recognizing what that is right now. This is the whole point of this video. So once I have gone inwards and I've started to really allow myself to feel it, and allow myself to remember, and allow myself to embrace and, be completely immersed in whatever it is that's going on, then I will take myself to nature. I find, for me personally, nature holds the answer for everything in my life. If I feel as if there's a bit of a heavy cloud going on, like in and around my head, nature will clear that. If I feel like my heart is a little bit heavy, I'll go to nature and I'll stumble across a deer, or I'll see a beautiful, creature or something, and it will activate that heart space back open. This is what I'm talking about right now. How are you going to cope when things start to happen again, things start to shift, and even more noise starts to come on the planet? It was very interesting. So a lot of you guys know I'm friends on a personal level with Charlie Ward, and You know, he messaged me something this morning and I sat with it and I felt it, and I just almost saw the potentiality of, if this transpires to be the truth, what may happen going forwards. So this is, I think, why I've really, after the gym, I decided that it is this now moment that I need to get this video filmed in readiness to put out later today. I've just looked at the clock and it says 11:11. Of course it says 11:11. So please do note that I'm not saying this because there's going to be some catastrophic event that's going to happen tomorrow. I mean, there may well be, but I'm saying this because we need to get our toolkit ready. Okay, it's very important to recognize we all need this toolkit, and that's from a physical perspective, that's from an emotional perspective, it's from a mental perspective. You know, some people's minds are really going off at the moment. It's extremely intense. Some people are getting their emotions, you know, coming out of nowhere. I had a lady on one of my calls at some point this week, and she was like, I just can't stop crying, Lucy. And this is what's happening right now. Some of you will be getting physical ailments, toothache, pain in your hip or your foot or something. So we're all going through different things at the moment, because if you have listened to the March energy update and the new moon update, and this is being filmed on the 3rd of March, by the way, so we're literally, you know, the new moon was yesterday, so we're still right in that energy. And all of that was about looking yourself square in the eye, looking at your shadow, looking at how you're misbehaving, or your inner child is piping up, or how you're reacting to things. This is why it's extremely important that we start to get our toolkit in place right now. So are you somebody that when you have a situation that makes you react, that you run for the chocolate bars, or you run for the bottle of wine or something like that? Like, be really honest with yourself, recognize your patterns, because then you know what to put in your toolkit. So for example, if you are somebody that runs off and, you know, goes and grabs a bottle of wine or goes and grabs chocolate, what can you put in your toolkit so that you know, right, I've got that there, so I don't need to run off and grab the chocolate bar or the wine, which is, you know, stepping into self-sabotage mode. What can you do to distract that? You know, what do you need to do once you've felt those emotions, once you've sat with them, once you've allowed them to immerse in you? Like, what do you need to do? Do you need to walk it off? Do you need to run it off? Do you need to go to the gym and sweat it off? Do you need to go to nature like myself? Do you need to go by the beach? Like, what does that look like to you? Are you somebody that needs to go to your friends or your family and talk it through, or call your therapist or whatever? You know, I don't know your personal situation, but this is where we need to be bringing the consciousness up, that we have this metaphorical toolkit, so that we can go and utilize this, so that we can neutralize ourselves extremely quickly. We are in a period of time, and I have said this, between, you know, from about the middle of March, we are going to be needing this toolkit to be able to help us neutralize a lot quicker than we have been able to do in the past. The energies are shifting, the frequency on the planet, the vibrations are going so fast right now. We are having to physically upgrade, mentally upgrade. Our DNA is being upgraded. I keep being shown that our literal DNA is being transformed at the moment. It's, you know, there's no other word for it. It's being transformed, it's being upgraded, it's being lifted, it's being I want to say the word bettered, but I know that that's not a word. You know what I mean? Improved, that's a good word. I don't know where bettered just came from, but you know. So it's very important that we start stepping into this space. What is it that you need? Maybe, like I say, you're somebody that likes to go for a swim in the sea because it just helps you. I know I follow a guy on Instagram, and he's very much about the cold water therapy. And although I do it from time to time, there's no way I could do it very frequently. And I massively respect people who can. So, you know, maybe that's your thing, but just recognize it. Okay, when stuff comes up and I don't know how to cope with it, or I don't know what's going on, and I really want to know what's going on, and my inner control freak's kicking up, or my inner child is playing up, what do I do? What is my go-to? And journal this, write it down, have it as your literal Bible. You know, you can just remember it in your head, you can put it in your phone, like, especially if you think people are going to find it, like, just put it somewhere where it's safe. But right now we need to be encouraging everybody. And think about your kids. What's your kids go to? How do you get your children to neutralize very, very quickly? It's a really important one right now. There is so much going on, and all of us don't really know what we're doing. We're kind of winging it a little bit. So let's give it as much as we possibly can. Let's recognize what really truly helps us. Like I say, ladies and gents, I know that there is going to be a lot of shifts. I know that there is going to be a lot coming up into our consciousness. I know that we are going to be shown so much over the coming weeks. However, I'm not going to speculate what is going to be shown, or, you know, the scenarios that I'm envisaging, because as we know, timeline shifts, things change daily, and quite frankly, who's it going to benefit? Who's it going to benefit? We may as well just prepare ourselves. Remember, we need to love ourselves more than ever. We need to recognize our toolkit and how we are going to step through these scenarios, and then basically put it into action. It's an interesting time that we're living through right now. Remember, before you start projecting on somebody, take a breath. Before you are reactive, take a breath. Sit on something, ignore something, respond tomorrow, that kind of thing. That's what I'm encouraging right now, because remember, this is a period of time where everybody is shifting. Nobody really gets what's going on. People are totally freaking out. You know, they're behaving really, really bizarrely to the people that love them, and they don't even recognize that they're doing it, because that's what's happening. We're shifting, we're having to heal. There is no other option for us but to go through this process right now. I'd love to know how you feel about this video. Do you feel the turbulence coming up? Do you feel the distractions and things like that starting to rise, and you having to take a step back and view it from a different angle? Or maybe you are seeing that you're reacting, or maybe you're seeing, oh my gosh, yes, I'm retorting in this situation, which I wouldn't normally do, or I'm oversharing or something like that. Ladies and gents, the only way that we can, you know, we can get ourselves through this period of time is by being honest with ourselves and recognizing the behaviors that we are putting out. So if you are doing this, please do not judge yourself. Please, please, please do not judge yourself. There is absolutely no need for it. What we need to be doing is saying, right, this is what I'm doing right now. This is how I'm behaving. This is how I'm reacting. This is how I'm speaking. This is how I would like to react and speak. Now, how can I get there? What do I need in my toolkit to be able to get me there without the I was going to say bonfire works is what I was going to say, without the fireworks, or without the bombs going off, or without the drama or anything like that associated with it. Okay, this is an action video. What are you going to do? What action are you going to take? How are you going to embrace and embody this that is being shown to us? There is a lot of panic around the world right now. There is a lot of anger and sadness and those low vibrational emotions, which, let's be fair, we were just starting to come out of them. And then what's happened around the world has plummeted people back into that scenario. And, you know, this is the seesaw that we've been on this over these last couple of years. As soon as we're starting to go back up again, boom, the other person moves, you know. So it's down to us to recognize what we need to do to neutralize that. And I think, or I feel, the reason that they have been asking me to do this video, like I say, particularly in the last few days, but over the last couple of weeks, I've been being shown this video to do. I feel it is because we are literally about to step into it. You know, we are stepping into this time of turbulence. We are stepping into this time where we get to decide how that's going to look. Okay, now I'm choosing peace. I am choosing love. I am choosing, you know, a much higher frequency. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm not aware of the fear and the other stuff that's going on. What it means is I am choosing, Lucy Davis, this vessel thing that I'm currently residing in, is choosing to, you know, get myself equipped so that when these scenarios pick up, I know exactly what to do, almost like a to-do list, a checklist that I can just go, right, this is how I neutralize. And if that doesn't work, then I start to make tweaks and I change it. And then I start to implement that new one. Okay. Ladies and gents, let me know if this makes sense to you. Let me know if you've got any questions and I will come back. I'm going to link back. I never know which way it goes. I'm going to link back to the energy update for March. If you have not watched it, please go and watch it. Very valuable information in there, ladies and gents. And I will be seeing you lovely, lovely men and women in the next video. Catch you soon.